Good afternoon, guys. Hi. Hi, Connie. So, we're going to get into this today. I have this one question I'm asking here. Is this one habit sabotaging your healing from codependency? Is it sabotaging your happiness? We're all doing it. If you've been through narcissistic abuse, if you identify with the idea of being a people pleaser, being codependent, if you struggle with keeping yourself in relationships, if you find your mind wandering into the future or the past or trying to figure things out, you're dealing with this habit. It's actually a habit we developed to survive the chaos and the instability, and the irrational nature of the narcissistic abuser that we've been dealing with. And that habit is analysis. Not very exciting, but it is exciting. Because now we can realize that I'm not my habit. I'm not necessarily analytical by nature. I could literally be non-analytical, but because of my environment, because of what I have had to survive, I had to become analytical. I had to put that in overdrive in order to anticipate the behavior of the target, of the narcissistic or abusive parent in my case, in order to anticipate outcomes and consequences, to anticipate how they want it, and to try to get some sense of control in the environment that I was dealing with. That's what analysis really is about for us. We're trying to hedge against the big threat, the threat of being discarded, being hit, being abused, being thrown away, being verbally or emotionally attacked, being neglected, getting a no or a rejection. Because we really want about control. We really want control so we can feel stable, that we can feel safe to be ourselves, safe to breathe, safe to actually exist for a moment. And that's what we have used analysis for in order to accomplish. And honestly, it's helped us out quite a bit. It got us to today. It got us to the place where we are alive, right? We survived the abuse. We survived the crazy making. We survived the neglect. So analysis was essential to that survival. But if we're going to move on in our lives, if we're going to move beyond codependency, beyond the narcissistic abuse trauma, beyond the discard trauma, we actually have to set down analysis and return to something we were doing before analysis took over our minds. And that is a concept called awareness. We need to tap into our natural ability to sense what's going on, sense what the energy is, sense what options might be coming up, sense into what we want, what we don't want, what feels safe, what doesn't feel safe. We need to tap into our awareness. So, how do we do that? I'm a big fan of not eliminating habits, right? You're really not going to be able to eliminate your analytical habit. That's kind of insane. It had such a massive impact and role in your survival. You're not going to get rid of it. But what you can do is you can use your analysis habit when you find yourself analyzing. You can use that as a reminder to trigger your awareness habit. So it's more like, oh, I'm going to take a moment and tune into what I sense about what's going on. That's fundamentally what awareness is. It's a sensing, it's a present moment of connecting with how we feel and what we perceive about our environment, about the option that's coming towards us, about the person we're dealing with, about our circumstances. We can just listen to what's there and then receive what's there and go from there. That's what awareness does for us. It allows us to hear what we're aware of and receive it. Okay? So when my mind gets into these big analytical cycles, I use that to go, okay, what am I aware of that I'm not aware of right now? Because awareness is a really powerful and essential skill for us to develop if we're actually going to be happy beyond codependency, if we're actually going to have healthy relationships beyond narcissistic ones, if we're actually going to know what we want and don't want. We've got to practice becoming aware of what we're sensing, what we're understanding, what we're perceiving in our world. The way we do that is we start breathing. It's a very simple thing. We start breathing, we catch our breath, and we're like, I'm in the present moment. And we become mindful or present with the moment we're in. So right now, take a moment, breathe, maybe even allow yourself to yawn, and you'll start tuning into your present moment. And as you do that, listen to what you start to feel in your body, what you start to sense in your awareness. What's here? What's happening? Like right now in my awareness, I have this sense that there's people watching me, because there are 4 of you at the moment. I also have this sense of enthusiasm for what's coming. And I also have this awareness that I'd like to rest a little more. There we go. Cool. Awareness is really neat that way, because you can do a broad awareness, just checking in with what's going on. Or you can actually tune your focus into a specific thing, like a person, an opportunity, an option, a question, and listen to what you feel and what you perceive about it. So maybe you don't know if you want to watch a movie. Tune into how you feel. What's your sense about watching this particular movie or not? What's your sense about eating this thing over here or that? Ooh, someone wants to go on a date with you. What's your sense of that for you? Because remember, one of the biggest challenges in codependency is overcoming our automatic habit to say yes rather than check in and see if we actually want to do something. Because we've been conditioned to own other people's feelings. We've been conditioned to believe that we're responsible for regulating those feelings. And breaking that habit is very easily done by using our awareness and going, well, what do I feel about this? How is this going to benefit my life? Is this congruent with my own version of happiness? Do I even want to say yes? Do I want to say no? And we can sense that out by listening to how we feel about these options that show up. Hi, Lori. Hi, Sonia. And so this is a really important skill for us to hone. Getting out of analysis, getting into awareness is going to liberate you, 1, from feeling crazy because you're always analyzing everything. 2, not knowing what you want. Number 3, you'll be able to actually hear yourself. You'll know your voice and your sense of things more and more. And 4, you're going to be able to choose in a way that leads you towards more happiness. So rather than having this reflex of saying yes to everything, you can slow down and say, how do I feel about this? What am I aware of about this? That's where we want to go with this. That's where your happiness is going to be. That's how you live beyond codependency. It's how you use analysis to get into awareness so you can be free. So if you'd like to have more of this kind of guidance, this kind of training, if you'd like to break free of your codependency, the shame, the lack of identity, love addiction, trauma bonding, then take my masterclass below by clicking the link in the description below if you're here on Facebook and on YouTube, or go to workshop2.freetheself.com and take the course. And I'm going to show you how I heal the discard trauma, how I heal codependency, and I'm going to give you an opportunity to join Codependency Confidence. This is where over 450 other people broke free of their shame and of the spell the narcissist has over us, and they have found themselves again. And they've moved into happiness. They've moved into peace. And they've taken control of their lives and are no longer in this cycle of panic and addiction and wondering where they are and who they are and dealing with all that shame and question about themselves. Instead, they're happy. So that is what you're looking for. Apply for that. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for being here with this training. It's a pretty short one. And I'll be here for tomorrow's live Q&A. You guys have a great evening, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye, guys.